Can you hear me? आवाज येतोय का? ओके. स्क्रीन स्क्रीन दिख रहा है? Hello. Okay. So we'll start with the new system, that is excretory system. Okay. First topic from excretory system is hydronephrosis. What is hydronephrosis? Do you know what is hydronephrosis? Okay, so the definition is aseptic dilatation of whole or the part of kidney due to partial or intermittent obstruction to the outflow of urine. Okay, when there is dilatation of whole or some part of kidney, and that is because of partial or intermittent obstruction to the outflow of urine. If there is any obstruction to the outflow of urine, there will be. हॅलो, आवाज येतोय?
तेच मी मगाशी व्हिडिओ लावला होता आणि 400 MB चा सगळे 400 MB त्याच्यात संपले असते.
बरेच काय. आता काय करायचं? ओके. हॅलो, आवाज येतोय? आवाज येतोय का? स्क्रीन स्क्रीन दिसतोय? Okay, so first topic from excretory system, that is hydronephrosis. It is a septic dilatation of whole or part of kidney due to partial or intermittent obstruction to the outflow. When there is any obstruction to the outflow of urine, and that is maybe because of partial or intermittent obstruction, and there will be, because of obstruction, there will be dilatation of whole kidney or the part of kidney, that is called as hydronephrosis. This hydronephrosis may be unilateral or it may be bilateral. So first we'll see about the unilateral hydronephrosis. Okay, when there is ureteral obstruction, the causes of unilateral hydronephrosis. First is ureteral obstruction. In that, first one is extramural obstruction. Okay, extramural obstruction, it contains when there are aberrant vessels. Okay, aberrant vessels that are present at the lower pole of kidney, that is lower polar artery or vein, or if the normal inferior renal vein or displaced or it is displaced downwards by enlarged renal pelvis. Okay, because of aberrant vessel that is present on the lower pole of kidney, there may be these veins may cause obstruction to the ureter from outside, extramural, that is from outside the wall of ureter, or if the normal inferior renal vein, it is if it is displaced downwards by the enlarged renal pelvis. If the renal pelvis is enlarged, the inferior renal vein may be, it is may displaced downwards, and that may cause obstruction to the ureter. Second one is involvement of ureter by growth outside, from outside, that is CA cervix or CA prostate or CA rectum, CA colon or CA cecum. Okay, or these malignancies will cause, or they will have a pressure effect on the ureter from outside, and they will cause obstruction to the urinary outflow. And third one is idiopathic retroperitoneal fibrosis. Idiopathic causes of if there is fibrosis in the retroperitoneal space, then there may be, that may also cause a pressure effect on the ureter, and that will lead to urinary outflow obstruction. Okay, these are the extramural causes, that means outside the ureters. Okay, first one is aberrant vessels that are the lower polar artery or vein that is present at the lower pole of kidney, and that may obstruct the ureter, or if there is a malignancy outside the ureter, that is CA cervix or CA prostate or carcinoma of rectum, colon or cecum, this will cause pressure on the ureter, and that's why there will be obstruction to the urine, passage of urine. And third one is idiopathic retroperitoneal fibrosis. Then second is intramural, that means the causes that are present in the wall of ureter. Extramural is outside the wall, intramural is in the wall of ureter. So first in intramural, first cause is congenital stenosis. Okay, if there is congenital stenosis of ureter, it will cause, obviously it will cause urinary outflow obstruction. Then physiological narrowing or achalasia at pelviureteric junction. If there is a narrowing at pelviureteric junction or achalasis, you can say, then it will also cause urinary flow obstruction, and that's why there will be hydronephrosis. Then ureterosil and congenital small ureteric orifice. If there is congenital small ureteric orifice is smaller, then it will also lead to urinary obstruction, or ureterosil, that is enlargement of a ureter at the opening, or the opening at the urinary bladder, distal to the, or at the where it opens into the urinary bladder, there will be dilatation of ureters, that is ureterosil. So ureterosil or any congenital small ureteric orifice, if it is present, then it will also cause difficulty in the passage of, or obstruction to the passage of urine. The next one is inflammatory stricture at the site of stone which has been removed. If a patient is having stone and if it is removed, there may be a stricture that is formed in the ureter, in the wall of ureter at the site of stone, and that inflammatory stricture will cause obstruction to the urinary flow. Then other condition is TB ureter, then trauma during pelvic surgery, any trauma during the pelvic surgery. If there is trauma to the ureter during any pelvic surgery, then that will also cause urinary obstruction. And neoplasm of ureter or bladder that involve the ureteric orifice. If the neoplasm is present at the ureteric orifice or neoplasm of bladder or ureter, okay, malignancy of ureter or urinary bladder, and that in where it involves the ureteric orifice, where the ureter opens into the bladder. At that site, if there is neoplastic changes that occur, then that will also cause urinary obstruction. So these are the intramural causes. That means the causes that are present in the wall of ureter. Okay, I will explain it once again. First one is congenital stenosis. If it is a congenital condition where there is a narrowing of the ureters, or if there is physiological narrowing or achilles at pelviureteric junction, at the junction of pelvis, renal pelvis and ureter. If that space is narrowed, then there will be urinary obstruction. Or second cause is ureterosil or congenital small ureteric orifice. It is also congenital condition. Congenital, if the ureteric orifice is smaller, then that will also cause obstruction. Then inflammatory stricture at the site of stone which has been removed. If the stone is removed and at that site inflammatory stricture may form, and that will also lead to urinary obstruction. Then TB ureter, then any trauma to the ureter during pelvic surgery, or neoplasm of ureter or urinary bladder that involves the ureteric orifice. And third cause is intraluminal causes. Intraluminal means in the causes that are present in the lumen. Any obstruction that is present in the lumen, that is intraluminal. That is, first one is calculus in the ureter or in renal pelvis. If a calculus is present in the renal pelvis or in the ureter at any site, it will cause urinary obstruction. And calculus in renal pelvis causes intermittent hydronephrosis. If the calculus that is present in the renal pelvis, it will cause intermittent hydronephrosis. Okay, these are the causes of hydronephrosis. First one is unilateral hydronephrosis. Okay, unilateral hydronephrosis के causes में first one is ureteral obstruction, in obstruction at the ureter. Okay, that includes extramural, that is from outside the ureter. Then intramural causes, that is in the wall of ureter, and intraluminal, that is in the lumen of ureter. Okay, now the bilateral hydronephrosis. If there is urethral obstruction, if there is any obstruction at the urethra, then there will be bilateral obstruction. Then if there is any injury, extramural or intramural or intraluminal, that is present bilaterally. Okay, any injury that is present bilaterally, it may be extramural, intramural or intraluminal. Then third one is lower urinary obstruction, which may be congenital, like stricture of meatus. If the urinary meatus, at the urinary meatus, if the stricture is present, then if it is congenital, then there will be bilateral hydronephrosis. Then congenital constriction of bladder neck. If it is a congenital condition, congenital constriction that is present at the bladder neck, it will also have so there will be obstruction to the urinary flow, and it will cause again back pressure to the kidneys and renal pelvis, and there will be hydronephrosis. The next is neoplasm of bladder involving the both ureteric orifices. If the neoplastic changes, or if malignancy, or it may be if the benign changes that occur at the bladder, urinary bladder, and that involves both the ureteric orifices. Okay, if the both ureteric orifices are involved in neoplastic changes that occur in bladder, urinary bladder, then there will be obstruction to the urinary flow. Then BEP, that is benign enlargement of prostate or CA prostate. Then CA cervix or CA rectum, that involves both the ureters, and inflammation or traumatic urethral stricture. Okay, these are the bilateral causes. Urethral obstruction is the main cause. Urethra, if there is any obstruction in the urethra, then it will lead to bilateral hydronephrosis. It will have a effect on both the ureters if there is obstruction at urethra. Okay, and if there is any injury which may be extramural or intramural or intraluminal, that is present bilaterally, then that may also cause bilateral hydronephrosis. Or if there is a congenital stricture at meatus or congenital constriction of bladder neck, that will also lead to bilateral hydronephrosis. And other causes like neoplasm of urinary bladder, that involves both the ureteric orifices, where the ureter opens into the urinary bladder. Okay, and if the cancer or the malignancy is present in the urinary bladder, and if it involves both those ureteric orifices, then it will cause urinary obstruction and there will be bilateral hydronephrosis. Then BEP, that is benign enlargement of prostate. If the prostate is enlarged, that will also cause obstruction to the urinary flow, or CA prostate is present, then that will also cause obstruction to the urinary flow. Then CA cervix and CA rectum, if it involves both the ureters, then it will also lead to urinary obstruction and later on hydronephrosis, bilateral hydronephrosis. Okay, now the pathology that is present in the hydronephrosis. The changes will depend upon the extrarenal or intrarenal pelvis. Okay, changes depend on extrarenal or intrarenal pelvis. Extrarenal pelvis is commonly affected. Okay, changes are present in the extrarenal pelvis or in intra. Okay, extrarenal pelvis is commonly affected. The the part of pelvis, renal pelvis, that is present outside the kidney, that is commonly affected. It causes pelvic hydronephrosis. There will be hydronephrosis, dilatation of the renal pelvis. Okay, hydronephrosis is dilatation. There will be dilatation of renal pelvis. Then calyces also dilate. The renal parenchyma is destroyed by the pressure atrophy. As there is back pressure, first the renal extrarenal pelvis, that is the pelvis that is present outside the kidney, that gets dilated. Okay, and that will cause pressure effect in the kidney. Okay, so the calyces will dilate, then the renal parenchyma is destroyed by the pressure atrophy, and intrarenal pelvis there will be destruction of parenchyma is more rapid. Okay, if there is involvement of intrarenal pelvis, then destruction of renal parenchyma is more rapid than that of extrarenal pelvis affection. Now the clinical features of hydronephrosis. If it is unilateral, the female as to male ratio is 2:1. The right side ureter is more commonly affected. There will be slight pain with dull ache or weight feeling at right side if right side is affected. There will be aggravation of symptoms with the alcohol or excessive fluids. On examination, there will be enlarged kidney is enlarged. There will be attacks of renal colic and intermittent hydronephrosis may be present. Okay, clinical features of unilateral hydronephrosis. Most commonly, the common side is right side that affects more. There will be slight pain with dull ache, or there may be weight feeling at that site. There will be aggravation of symptoms with alcohol or excessive fluid. On examination, there will be enlarged kidney, and then attacks of renal colic may be present. Okay, now the investigations: X-ray of ureteric stone, X-ray for the ureteric stone, then ultrasonography and cytoscopy or ureteroscopy. And treatment is obviously you have to remove the cause. Okay, that's all about the hydronephrosis. Any difficulty? Is there any difficulty? समजलंय की नाही? की परत एकदा रिपीट करू? Okay. Okay, hydronephrosis. It is a aseptic dilatation. Okay, it is a dilatation of whole or part of kidney, and this dilatation is because of partial or intermittent obstruction to the outflow of urine. If there is any obstruction to the outflow of urine, there will be dilatation of the part of kidney or whole kidney, that is called as hydronephrosis. This hydronephrosis may be unilateral or it is bilateral. Okay, now we'll see the causes of unilateral hydronephrosis. युनिलॅटरल हायड्रोनेफ्रोसिस म्हणजे कळाले का? युनिलॅटरल म्हणजे काय? व्हॉट इज युनिलॅटरल? व्हॉट डू यू मीन बाय युनिलॅटरल हायड्रोनेफ्रोसिस? बोलो. युनिलॅटरल म्हणजे काय? म्हणजे एक साइड इफेक्ट होते फक्त. That is unilateral. Bilateral is both sides are affected. Okay. So ureteral where okay, the causes of unilateral hydronephrosis. First one is ureteral obstruction. If there is obstruction in the ureter, ureteral obstruction may be extramural, that is from outside the ureter, intramural, that is from in the wall of ureter, or intraluminal, that means if the obstruction is present in the lumen of the ureter. Okay, now the first causes, that is extramural causes. Extramural causes, it includes aberrant vessels, or they are the lower polar artery or vein. That means the artery or vein that is present at the lower pole of kidney, and that may cause a pressure on the ureters. Okay, this artery or vein that may cause pressure on the ureter. Or if the normal inferior renal vein, or if that renal vein is displaced downwards by the enlarged pelvis, renal pelvis. If the renal pelvis is enlarged and the renal vein, that is inferior renal vein, that is displaced downwards, it will also cause a pressure effect on the ureter, and that's why there will be obstruction to the urinary outflow. Second is involvement of ureter by the growth outside the ureter. If there is cancerous growth outside the ureter, like CA cervix, CA prostate, CA rectum, or carcinoma colon or cecum, these all malignancies will cause pressure on the ureter, and that's why there will be obstruction to the outflow of urine. And last one is idiopathic retroperitoneal fibrosis. If there is fibrosis, fibrotic changes at in the retroperitoneal space, then that will also cause a pressure effect on the ureter, and that's why there will be urinary outflow obstruction. Then intramural causes, that means the causes that are present in the wall of ureter. Okay, so this includes congenital stenosis. Okay, if there is stenosis of ureter, or if there is physiological narrowing or atelectasis at the pelviureteric junction, the pelviureteric junction, if it is narrowed, then that will also lead to urinary obstruction. Then ureterosil or congenital small ureteric orifice. Ureteric orifice, that is ureter, when ureter opens into the urinary bladder. Okay, if that opening is smaller in size, then that may lead to urinary obstruction. Or if there is inflammatory stricture at the site of stone that has been removed. Okay, if you removed if the stone is removed, and at that site if the stricture is formed, inflammatory stricture is formed, then that will also lead to urinary flow obstruction. Then other causes like TB ureter, any trauma to the ureters during pelvic surgery, or if the neoplasm is of ureter or bladder, neoplasm of ureter or bladder that involves the ureteric orifice. Okay, if the neoplastic changes that occur in the ureter or in the bladder, if it involves the ureteric orifice is involved, then that will also lead to urinary outflow obstruction. Then intraluminal causes, that means causes that are present in the lumen of ureter, that is calculus in the ureter, if a stone is present in the ureter or in renal pelvis, that will lead to urinary outflow obstruction and hydronephrosis. Then these are the causes of bilateral hydronephrosis. If there is any obstruction in the urethra, okay, if any obstruction that is present in the urethra, then it will lead to bilateral hydronephrosis. The hydronephrosis will be present on the both side. Both kidneys are affected. Then any injury, that is extramural, intramural or intraluminal, that is present bilaterally. Or third is lower urinary obstruction, that includes congenital stricture of meatus. Then congenital stricture of bladder neck. These are the congenital condition. And then acquired condition, that includes neoplasm of bladder, that involves both the ureteric orifices. Okay, both the ureteric orifices are involved in neoplasm of urinary bladder, then that will lead to bilateral hydronephrosis. Then benign enlargement of prostate or CA prostate, it will also cause pressure on the pressure changes, and it will lead to hydronephrosis of both the sides. Then CA cervix, CA rectum, and when it involves the both the ureter, then there will be bilateral hydronephrosis. Or there, if inflammation or traumatic urethral stricture is present, then that will also cause bilateral hydronephrosis. Then pathologically, the changes depends upon extrarenal, if the hydronephrosis present extrarenal, or if the intrarenal pelvis is affected. If the extrarenal pelvis is commonly affected, and there will be um, the because of back pressure, there will be a dilatation of calyces. The renal calyces are dilated. Then the renal parenchyma is involved, and it is destroyed by the pressure atrophy. And then if the hydronephrosis is present, if the intrarenal pelvis is affected, then the destruction of parenchyma, renal parenchyma, is more rapid than that of the extrarenal pelvis affection. Clinical features: the right side is more commonly affected. There will be slight pain with dull ache or weight feeling. Then aggravation is by alcohol or excessive fluid. On examination, there will be enlarged kidney. There will be attacks of renal colic. And investigations we have to do is X-ray of ureteric stone, X-ray for ureteric stone, then USG, ultrasonography, and cystoscopy or ureteroscopy to find out all the causes. You have to do these investigations, and treatment is to remove the cause. With the help of investigations, you have to find the cause of the hydronephrosis, and treatment obviously is to remove the cause. Okay. Okay, any difficulty? Is there any difficulty? Bolo. Okay, chalo, I will stop here today. Okay.